What's up, guys? Welcome to Crypto Cartel on this really beautiful, bullish day for Bitcoin. Beautiful day to be an American. Trump just got elected president, and the markets are going absolutely crazy. We're here to bring you the best alpha, the best altcoins to buy on this rip. I think we're in for a crazy, just an awesome period in crypto to make a lot of money. Like the next 6 months, a lot of people are going to flood into the market, a lot of new money. And if you've been putting in the work and putting in research, perfecting your craft like we have, there's just a lot of money to be made. So with that, let's get into how the market's looking.
All right,
How's
let's do
Bitcoin
this.
looking?
Uh, Sorry about that. Let me get that
You want me to
corrected.
pull it up?
No, I got it. It's right here. All right, guys. So yesterday, no, it was 2 days ago. 2 days we talked about. 2 days ago we talked about in the short time frame, right? How we were going to do. I had two scenarios. It was either going to go up or down, depending on who was going to get elected. Clearly, we had Trump elected, and Bitcoin loved the news on that one, and so we made official higher high. So congratulations to all of us. Let's go. And then I had this target, which we actually just met, this specific target, which means we may get a pullback or maybe just flag sideways in the short-term time frame. But overall, we hit that 76,000 mark, and we're looking strong in general. Next levels I'm looking at is 83,000. So that may come in the next few weeks. But I've been thinking about this. Maybe we could have like a kind of like a Christmas rally sort of thing. But obviously that would be great. But we have to see how things work out in our favor. But let's zoom out on the bigger time frames here to just kind of give a recap of the sort of thing that happened. It's kind of funny when you go back and you look at things in retrospect. It kind of just made sense, right? So we were downhill on this flag. We broke out, we retested the flag, and then we just had this beautiful 12% candle, right? And then, obviously, I am looking right now from a target of an inverted head and shoulder to that $83,000 target. As I want to explain to you why I got it shoulder, head, and shoulder there, and then overall, long term. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. My targets are anywhere between 102 to like 115. I know it's kind of like a big range. But in general, I'm overall bullish on this Bitcoin cycle. Obviously, we can go higher, but I'm conservatively going to start taking some profits out around this area. So that's something to keep an eye on for Bitcoin in the macro level. And then one thing I did want to talk about quickly was Bitcoin dominance. Right, we are starting to show some weakness in the 4 hour to 12 hour time frame. There's a lot of wickage here, as you could see. 1 wick, 2 wicks. Stochastics is getting a little bit bearish. We're making higher highs. Stochastics is not going as high anymore. And, MACD has been in the red since October 31st, right? And so, we start looking at this too. We're also showing bearish signs. So it wouldn't surprise me if, look at that. That's a 12 hour, and that's kind of like a bearish engulfing candle, right? The bearish engulfing candles when the red, in this case, the red candle is bigger than the prior candle, right? And so to me, this means that we may have a nice pullback. We are breaking down from the trend. It wants to hold for now, but it should be interesting to see what's going to happen. Maybe we could get like a nice BTC pump to like 80K, and then BTC dominance goes up, and then from there we just plummet, right? So just a few things to keep an eye out on, specifically on Bitcoin dominance. Same thing with the daily. The greens are starting to get a little lighter greens. The shades are not as strong. Yeah, but overall, we could have one last pump before alts can really, really, really run. So that's an update for that. Let's look at total three. Total 3 made it back from the dead. I mean, we were on this trend, we broke down from this trend, and I was very bearish on this one. It was not looking good, but then we went ahead and we went up. We're still hitting resistance here, but I believe once we break this resistance, alts are going to start flying, and there are some signs of that, of alts wanting to fly. You know, Sui, Sol, Phantom, Tau. So there's a lot of power there. But other than that, if we break this, I'm very bullish on alts. But in general, wouldn't have had it any other way with Bitcoin pumping, for the last few days. And that's a wrap. Anything you want to add?
Just the only thing I'll add is like we really want to see whenever BTCD rolls over, that's when like the true crazy alt season will start. You see my screen?
Yeah, there you go.
So that's what we're looking for. I mean, Bitcoin just put in a 9% candle, which is crazy for the size of this asset, right? That's $1 trillion asset. So added almost 100 billion overnight. And what we're looking for, basically what's going to happen if you've been seeing this part of the cycle in previous like bull runs, is Bitcoin, let's go back in time a bit here. And basically what's going to happen now is Bitcoin's going to start chatting. Okay. There's no other term for it. And we can see here after the elections in 2020, Bitcoin just goes in this aggressive uptrend, like green, like uptrend, right? And I think, and that's, if you notice, it starts right after it breaks its old all-time high here at 19K, 20K. So that's, I think, what's happening here, just in a bigger, obviously bigger numbers, bigger time series, but same thing is happening now. It's going into price discovery. So you have to think about like the market psychology. People don't want to miss this. Okay. So if you're in alts, especially some that are underperforming, you're going to sell them to make sure you're in this and catching the meat of this move, right? So what you're going to see is Bitcoin sucking liquidity out of alts. And what that translates to is BTCD going up, Bitcoin going up as a percent of the market cap, and alts going down. Now, alts are still green, right? But I'm just saying some alts are either going to be flat or just not go up as much as Bitcoin, basically, is what's going to happen. And I don't know if this is topped out yet. I mean, I think it could, but this is an aggressive up channel. And I think we see one more breakout, maybe like this, to the 65 level. I just think that we're in the beginning of that process that I just described. What do you think about that, Alex? Are you muted?
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, no, yeah, it's exactly, what I was looking at too, having that one last pump and that one last bearish pump, right? You're going to start to notice like heavier bearish divergences on the bigger time frames. I mean, there already is a lot of bearish divergence on the bigger time frames. But, maybe like on the weekly, on the 2 weeks, on those sorts of things, right? We're going to start to see some, but it wouldn't surprise me for us to hit, 65 as well, 66, have this, crazy candle on Bitcoin. And then from there, it's, an alt rally. But even then, though, I still think that there will be good performance. As I mentioned before, there's going to be good performers, even though there's going to be those top altcoins that are still going to perform well. And that's what we're here to give you, right? We're here to essentially provide you with that alpha, right? And obviously your other bags are going to pump eventually, but we want the ones that are going to pump along with Bitcoin, right? So that's the whole point of this.
Yeah, for sure. And like once you have that final spike like here, and you have this drop, like BTCD went from 72 to 40, like this is where crazy parabolic alt season happens. And that's kind of what we're waiting for. Like right now, of course, the best alts are outperforming, and we've been, in a lot of those on the stream talking about them. But there's the best is yet to come, is what I'm trying to say. But let's just quickly talk about like what this means for the election, what or for the crypto market, and like why Bitcoin has had such a bullish reaction. This thing wants to load while that's loading. Let's just quickly look at what's actually moving today. Because you did mention like some of the best alts are going to be outperforming, and one that we've been super bullish on here, Sui, is trending up 17% versus outperforming Bitcoin at 9%. And let's take a look at what's so in the top 300. Grass is the top performer. This is crazy, man. This has done a 3x since it airdropped. So market conditions are definitely changing. Like airdrops were down only before, and the fact that this dropped and is in a 3x in the last week basically is crazy. Mu Deng is leading. See again the same themes we've been talking about: AI, meme. So same outperformers. We've been charting Nero a lot, right? We talked about that one last week, and that's probably a good one we can take a look at later, because I do think the Doge 2.0 thesis is strong, and we talked about the normie appeal on this, when it was basically at a very good entry. So if you listened to that, congrats. Everything is like there's almost nothing in the green. I mean, in the red, my bad.
You're right, yeah.
The only thing that's down are these gold, like blockchain exposures to gold, which is crazy. And it's just one of those days, in the crypto market. So let's take a look at the categories that are outperforming. We want to see like what we want to be paying attention to. We want to be longing strength and momentum. So we could just do the last day, because that's when the big move has happened, right? And Mu Deng is one of the Mu Deng and Nero. So again, like you wanna be in memes. Like you got to be in memes if you want to outperform.
And just
go ahead.
Both of these, right? I know that you put out a chart for Mu Deng at was it 70 mil market cap, and then it ripped to 240 mil market cap. So I mean, if you're just privy to that, make sure you guys are joining the Telegram. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and you can see the funding isn't crazy yet. I am getting a little concerned on Tau. People paying 47% annualized to
hold on.
To be long.
Yeah, give me a second. We're having some technical issues.
Are we still live?
Sure.
How about this factor?
Yeah, it says it's live.
Are we still live?
All right.
Yeah, it's live. You're cutting out. What was that?
Can you share your screen?
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Let's get back into it. Sorry about that. So yeah, just looking at sector performance.
I'm sorry. There, hold on. All right, there it is. Go for it. Take it away.
Yeah. So the big winner today was DeFi, and DeFi tokens. This is kind of an obvious in hindsight. It was kind of obvious. Like with Trump comes better regulation, and of course, like Trump is launching a DeFi token himself, so he's obviously going to be much more friendlier than the current SEC was. And I mean this so it's no surprise why crypto is having this reaction. Like Victor tweeted, we're going to free Ross, the founder of Silk Road, fire Gary, end Operation 2.0, choke point 2.0, stablecoin legislation, turn on staking, shutter SEC law for investigations, provide regulatory clarity for crypto. So that's the key right there. And remember, like DeFi tokens were basically forced to become like governance meme tokens. Like they weren't worth anything. But now, DeFi is outperforming because they are still some of the most used products in crypto, and uh, they're going to be able to share to have value accrual now, right? Because they're not going to be worried about being labeled securities, be worried about getting sued by the SEC. So it's looking pretty good. But memes, always coming out on top as well in the second, and then after memes, you have AI. So those are the two areas I think have the biggest upside. I think DeFi will be all right, but I don't know if that's where I want to place my chips. Um, but we're definitely going to be looking out for opportunities in DeFi as well. So that's the current market state. I think what that tells me is we gotta continue to double down on memes, right? And which memes is a question. I think if you're asking which memes, you need to ask like which L1 could really continue to outperform here. And we saw this tweet just before the live that is basically calling for continued outperformance of Sol. Let's rewind back like our mentality before the election, right? On Friday, remember we laid out the thesis of Sol. If Trump wins, Sol will probably be one of the biggest winners in the market because it could be, it's catching up to Ethereum. It's outcompeting in several metrics, and it's likely the next candidate for ETF and institutional adoption, right? So we said we want to be longing Sol memes. That trade has obviously been paying off pretty well, but can it continue, right? And I liked this chart because it kind of lays out. You're gonna see this structure a lot in altcoins, like first structure, crazy run up, first cycle, first wave, 2 dump, crazy dump, right? Comes back to reality. And then the third cycle is this accumulation stage, and 4 is a slow like run up. It starts on this initial run, and then in stage 4 is the retest. So then you have 3 of the initial run, 4 is like the retest, and we're about to hit stage 5. And if you aren't familiar with this market structure, you probably should get very familiar with it because it plays out all the time. Even in meme coins, it plays out a lot faster. But specifically on altcoins, this is like a bread and butter type of setup. So, to me, this looks like, and they have a target of Sol going to around 500, which I think is reasonable. Maybe we start off with charting Sol real quick.
Yeah. So let's do that. Do you wanna take this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty simple. Sol is the chosen one. Sol is what ETH was last cycle, and it's been in this consolidation, this flag. It's how it's structured better than even Bitcoin did. It never broke this range, and it's now above the monthly open here. So I think we're gonna get probably similar to Bitcoin. It's gonna break its range pretty soon, and I have a similar target as a near term. I have it going to around 360, but when this breaks out and like aggressively starts going up, I mean, you do have some resistance here, right, at the old all-time high 250. That might require some work to surpass, but maybe that's an area to take some initial profit. But overall, yeah, this looks extremely bullish. Just one big flag, about to tear into its old all-time high and probably higher. And then if you look at it versus ETH, just consistently making new all-time highs. Versus Bitcoin, not as strong, but similar structure to the spot USD pair. So I'd like to see a break out of this flag and really start aggressively outperforming Bitcoin, which it should once BTCD rolls over, right? I think that's the outlook for Sol. I think you want to know if Sol is looking bullish because memes on Sol are basically just leverage Sol. So, looking pretty strong, showing all the signs you want to see. Anything to add there, Alex?
Yeah, no, I think you're spot on there, and I'll be very honest with you, just out of conversation here. I'm very bearish on ETH. I don't think. Well, for now, I'm pretty bearish on ETH. There could
Today is
be
the first day that it's showing signs of life.
right. But I do want to.
Mm.
I do want to say something about that. There could be some people. I mean, I don't know, but if let's just say if we don't, if we're up into Solana making all-time highs and ETH hasn't done anything, it wouldn't surprise me if people from ETH start leaving that chain to then start bringing their money into Sol. Because remember, if you're on heavy like profits, 50,000, 100,000, 500,000, and your coin, your project is not moving, then what are you going to do? You're going to end up having to move to places where you can make some money. Either that's Sol, Sui, right, Aptos. But that's just as of now, right? Things could change. ETH could be, one that's back in the game, right? But that's why I'm still really bullish on Solana, because at this point where Solana has been going and what it's been doing and how innovative it's been, just not just with memes, but in general, it's mega bullish for me. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a 500 Solana or 1,000.
So I'll tell you the counter argument to that, because I think what you said has been true up until today, actually, up until Trump got elected, because DeFi. Let's remember, DeFi is the most developed and vibrant active DeFi is on ETH. So if we're bullish DeFi, we're bullish ETH, and
ETH. Right.
And the thing is, I think one thing that ETH has going for it is it does have ETFs, right? It does have a railway for institutional money to come in. So up until now, I think I agree. Like Sol can probably keep outperforming, but I think there is a case to be made for ETH starting to take leadership again, and also just from where we are in the cycle, typically ETH does well after Bitcoin goes into price discovery. Like that's when, so ETH underperformance is like expected up until now. And like from a cyclicality perspective, like this is around the time where ETH kind of starts to bottom. But and the other thing is, I think near term, we're probably going to see a short squeeze, because I think a lot of people were short ETH. I think we're seeing the beginning of that. Am I going to long it over Sol? I don't think so. But the reason I think it's important to be bullish ETH is because remember on Friday we were talking about, like, do you want to be bullish memes on ETH or Sol? And we said probably Sol, because if ETH underperforms, then memes on ETH aren't going to do well, right? Mm-hmm. Well, what happened? Now we don't have that out anymore. Now ETH is looking decent, right? It's outperforming Bitcoin today. It's up like 11%, while Bitcoin is up, it's up 9%. So it is showing outperformance. And I think the big tell for me is the new solid memes on ETH look like this. Like this is Nero. And, we did TA on this on Friday, and we said, we were bullish on it. We were more bullish on other stuff than this. Like we thought other stuff could give higher multiples. Yeah. Just from like where the chart structure was. But I think now, after what's happened and the fact that ETH kind of has a path to still stay relevant, I think the memes are kind of telling you a story here, that people are bullish memes on ETH, which are leverage exposure to ETH. They're bullish ETH. So like to me, the memes are smart money. Like they're the ones front running everything, and they have been this year, right?
So yeah, how about this? Check your Telegram. I'm gonna look at ETH really quick, and then we'll go from there.
I don't think we need to look at ETH. Let's look at like some memes on ETH, because I think unless there's like something that you're saying.
I mean, like I want to just kind of add on to what you said, but yeah, check Telegram. I'll go over this one really quick, and then
go for it.
So I had this one as a pennant, right? I had it as a bearish pennant, but obviously right now it's starting to look really bullish. It does want to break out, and I'll give you the in that case where what Henry said, that scenario of with with ETH being more accepted, and then BTC performing really well, and then ETH following it, right? So let's just look at that scenario. And I've had ETH in this massive flag, right? And if it decides to, go ahead and do some crazy moves, ETH could easily see about $8,000, which I've already mapped this one out, right? So about 8,100.
You just flip flopped off my ranting.
Yeah, that's no, but that's what I'm saying. I'm getting the bullish and the bearish scenario, right? I'm not just going to be one way or another.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So in this case, let's just say that your scenario turns out to be true, right? Then what are we looking at? We're looking at ETH being, consolidating since 2021, and it hasn't done much, right? And it's, it's in this flag here, it's in this cup and handle here, which would easily get it up to like 6,700. That's the bullish scenario, right? We're saying, all right, anywhere from 6 to 7,000, or the still bullish scenario. Let's just say it rips. We literally just rip up to here, and that's it. 4,000. We just go back to 4,000, and that's it. But I don't know. This one's is a really hard one, because you are right. Like, as you said about the new regulations, this could be a big catalyst for ETH. It could be very bullish, but at the same time, I don't know, but I'll give you those scenarios here. If we're going to pump, probably with Bitcoin pumping, yes. I could see it as high as 4,000 back to all time. Actually, not really all time high, but these prices here, I'm not sure unless we get some crazy, incredible news about ETH.
I think they have to reach something like that. They'd have to really change strategy, change like tech, get people excited about ETH again somehow.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I don't know if that's possible, but it's not something I would bet on. But I think definitely 4,000 or 5,000 and even 6 is definitely in play, just off of what I mentioned.
It should be interesting. They might make a slogan, something like, make ETH great again or some shit like that, But if they're good with their marketing and they do decide to rebrand it and do like an incredible job, then absolutely, because I think Solana has been outshining them for the longest time in that sense,
Yeah. So if we think ETH can do something like this, then I think the top candidates to like outperform in terms of like, it's going to be the new blue chip memes, things like Nero. Another one is a SPX. Maybe take a look at that one. That's one of the Murad
let's do it.
memes. And I think it was one of the top gainers today also.
Yeah, SPX was one of the top gainers. Let's see what we have here. All right. Yeah, it's almost at $1 billion market cap. We did have it in this flag. So, this was in a flag before. If you guys tuned in, it would have been a great trade. We never broke down trend. Almost did. But, then we continued to pump from there, and, currently have this at a target of, 1.7 billion. That's
1.7?
1.7 billion. Yeah. Short-term target. After that, who knows, if, imagine if our regular SPX from the markets decide to rip and make all-time highs, this is probably going to go even higher. All right. So yeah, no, that's where we are on SPX. We did look at this one, guys, and this is looking incredibly bullish. Nothing else to say about that,
Yeah, I think those two on ETH. I feel like it's easier to bet on the big ones getting bigger than it is like trying to find stuff in the trenches, like on
absolutely. Absolutely. And then you said Nero, right? It's kind of quickly.
Yeah. Not that one, the other one.
This one?
Yeah. And if you're not, like, we gave a pretty detailed long thesis on Nero on our Friday stream, so check that one out if you haven't already. But basically, to keep it really simple, this is the name of the Doge owner, the dog that Doge is based on. So she bought a new dog, a new Shiba, named it Nero, and it's really simple. Like this is Doge 2.0, and that's something that degens and normies can get behind. And as Doge goes higher, so should Doge 2.0, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And then yeah, I mean, we talked about this on one of our streams too, is looking for this retest here. And we got that. And we got that 2 days ago. We got that massive retest. And that was the perfect time. Everybody was waiting for that. And that's why these things rip, right? Short terms, we're seeing it at, let's look at it in terms of market cap. That's going to get out. All right. Yeah, short term 1.2 billion, and then peak, I'll follow Doge type of thing. We're looking at about 1.6 to maybe 1.8 million market cap. So yeah,
My
Mhm.
target's 5 billion.
Probably, yeah, maybe 5 to 10 maybe. But this is very conservative, right? We don't know what's going to happen when the market decides to go crazy, right? You get an idea, but
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I think I don't have any other ETH memes I'm bullish on. Maybe we should check Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency on ETH.
Oh, which I don't know if you knew, by the way, they bridged onto Sol now, so they have so you can
Are
buy
they
them.
on both?
They're on both now, yeah.
Yeah,
So
SPX also
wormholed it.
has something similar to that.
Nice. I mean, look at this. This is wild. We talked about. I mean, this chart has been here since we've been talking about it down here, right? So we initially talked about it when it was about 15 million market cap, right? It was about 15, and then when it basically made a 5x. I was not expecting this dump here, right? Breaking trend. I kind of forgot about it, but if we go back and we look at the fibs, it just adds up, which we probably should have had. Now I know, alerts. And then enjoyed that one from 10 mil to like 80 mil, I think it went to. So that was a really good trade that we gave you guys earlier this year. But yeah, this one's like what are your thoughts on this? Like, what do you think? Do you think this one has staying power? As I think maybe Elon is more relevant in the whole Department of Government of Efficiency.
Yeah, I think it could. I think Elon knows how to bring attention to things. He doesn't know he's bringing attention to this one also, but the Department of Government Efficiency is going to be a thing, and it's going to be in the headlines, and they're going to be having initiatives. So every headline is an opportunity to get attention and volume on this thing.
Yeah, which kind of quickly, I want to look at this one here really quick, just because I did. Yeah, the Sol version. I want to see how it's doing. You're kidding me.
What? Is it sending? Damn. Yeah.
This is disgusting.
I think this is the wrong one. Oh, all right.
I hope it's the wrong one. Solana. That's this one.
Does it show you the market cap?
Yeah, so it's at 5 million. Yeah, I mean, I think this one's gonna send too. I'm kind of.
Yeah, we gave this play in the Telegram, 5x. All the TAs down there.
We gave it to you guys at like 1 million market cap, and then we give it back again at like 500K market cap. And personally, I went ahead and I DCA'd here. Sold some yesterday, but probably was not a good move to sell, because if you look at this, we just did a retest and then could have ate back in. But regardless, if you're making money, you're making money. I think that's the important part. We did talk about this one being, having staying power here. It was on the Telegram, but I mean, honestly, this is looking like it could, maybe continue. So we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. I think that's pretty solid for memes on ETH. And we obviously, we've been giving some good calls. So let's talk about what could be next, right?
Yeah.
What hasn't run that still could make a run? So let me get into one of those.
Yeah, perfect. Let me know when you're sharing your screen.
And basically what I'm doing, my strategy now, like I'm in large cap memes, and what I'm looking to do now is just find the next runners. Like like the next Nero, right? And I'm really doing research for that. Do you see my screen?
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is in that category, but one thing that I've been paying attention to is moonshot listings, and I've been following this account. It's called Moonshot Listing Status, and basically Moonshot is like a iPhone store app that lets you buy memes basically with Apple Pay, with credit cards, like very normie friendly, right? And it got listed today, so I'm like, let me try some like a new strategy. Let me ape as soon as it got listed, and all these green candles are basically since it got listed, and I think it's called Katana, and it's looking pretty bullish, right? Like
Yeah.
it's broken out. It's done a bullish cross on the 4 hour, which is pretty new. So you kind of have to play around in these lower time frames. And let's see if it actually retested any fibs here. But the volume's been pretty strong. Like I like to see this, like that volume doesn't fall off. It's actually maintained volume. So that means like degens are definitely interested. They like what they see. So it looks like,
you know what's sorry, man. You know what's one thing that I realized just as you were speaking about this is, they're gonna start looking into Katana and they're gonna go into Twitter, right? And guess what they're gonna find on Twitter?
what?
That Mitch follows them.
Does he?
Right?
I didn't even check the Twitter.
Yeah, so I sent this one to you, and I sent this one to you specifically because Mitch was following them actually. And if people start seeing that, and Mitch does one more tweet, and it's game over. I mean, this thing's probably gonna go to 50 million.
Yeah, this thing is looking really bullish here. It is coming up to some resistance here, so maybe it consolidates for a bit there. But I think it's kind of broken out, and it looks like it's going into the next leg. And I don't really know what else to add on this one. Do you want to take a look?
Yeah, let me go ahead and look at it. Actually, no, it's not Mitch.
Yeah.
I forgot who it was. No, I mean,
I can check.
Yeah, go for it. Let me see if you have any good followers on that one. But yeah, I was actually eyeing this one last week, and then I sent it to Henry. I was like, just to be like, yo, like, what do you think? But yeah, essentially, from last impulse, we had, from here, which was like on October 25th, we reached up at the top, we came back, and we got a little lower for the 786, but we continued to respect the 786, and this was the accumulation zone, right? People really liked it. They're respecting this trend, and they're respecting this at an 8 million market cap, which also is a good sign. People aren't selling at a 8 million market cap, and they're holding, and they're accumulating. So to me, that was really bullish in general. You had to wait about 4 days for the rip to happen. And if you're patient and not too much of a degen, I think that's a good payout. You just made a 1x, right? Waiting for 4 days, right? But no, I like it. And overall, let's just say we have the flag, and we look at that breakout. We should be seeing this one in no time at around 30 million. So that's another 1x, right? So, from when, Henry talked about this one, you're looking at about 117% gain. So that's pretty good. I mean, it's a pretty good risk reward. It looks like it has momentum. So there's honestly no reason for this one to stop. The 12 hour has got a very bullish setup here with the stochastics doing same price movement here. The stochastics making a higher low here and then ripping from there. So this is a good play.
Yeah, and for the next one, I'll let you pick. Do you want to go bigger market cap or dirty trenches low cap?
I like trenches. Let's do trenches first.
Okay, let's look at LOL. It's not the trenches, but under 10 mil, you're taking a lot of risk buying stuff under 10 mil. That's all I'm gonna say. You're taking a lot of risk in general buying memes, right? But
is it this one here?
Yeah, that one. Like I feel like the ones under 10 mil, you have to like babysit a little more. to make sure you don't get dumped on?
I mean, this one's really good. I like it. 3,000 over a little bit over 3,000 holders. We broke out, maybe retested here with this support region, right? But those wicks, I mean, I don't know. I don't like those wicks because it's, I mean, no, it's actually building good structure. So we could be doing something like, we'll go to the fib in a second, but ideally I like to see a retest either here. I don't think it's going to come back down to here, but you never know, right?
3.9 or 3.39 there.
Yeah, I think it might be
3.9 million.
or the 0.5.
I mean, that's in
It's
terms of like
fun.
drawdown, that's not much for a meme.
Yeah, no, this is actually a really good one. I remember you told me about this one. 30% maybe drawdown if we're not respecting this trend, but it looks like it wants to respect it. But I mean, I like it. It's actually not bad. It's a good breakup, and it's holding price. Like it's not, it's being bought back up on this retest. Actually, that might have been the retest, right here. So we'll see how this one plays out, but this is a potential, from where we are right now, all the way out to, 150x. And if it gets more traction, are there any good calls on this one?
Yeah, Trader SZ. He claims Bobcat and with whales are buying. I have no idea how to verify that, but it's got to be true if you see it on Twitter, right? No one ever lies on Twitter, I think.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. He did chill. I remember a while back. He did chill Nero a shit ton, and I faded all.
He called Fwag from 15 mil, so he's got some clout going right now. He's got the clout momentum, and once these KOLs get some clout and they call some stuff, they tend to it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because the more calls they make, like people ape into it because they were right on the first call, and it becomes a self-fulfilling thing. Kind of like the crash and like the Murad effect. So I don't think he's going to get as big as them, but he's got a lot of followers. He's got hundreds of thousands, 200,000, I think, or more. So, and he's got, like I said, he's riding that Fwag clout, which we should take a look at.
He did. This one's Kai, which is Kittenheimer. And he did talk about this one yesterday, and I did ape a little bag.
Nice.
And I mean, yeah, it came back down and did the retest on 29 cents and then it ripped again 26%. But if we look back, and this one this one wouldn't surprise me if it would pull a crazy move. I'll tell you why. It's a 19 million market cap with 17,000 holders, right? And the setup on this one is just, I mean, if you bought on that little bull there, that would have been such a great buy. But look at this setup. It's
not bad.
When memes are accumulating like this and there's catalysts, I mean, they go crazy, right?
And I just want to share, I'm going to share this, the soul chart one more time, because this is the structure you're looking for.
Exactly. Let me know when you're ready.
If you see this, you see, let me see. What you need to think about like the psychology of a chart like this. So it's going a little slow. We'll let that load. But basically, what you're looking for is it had its first run up, right? And people bought the top. You need those people need to get out now. Like they need to eat that loss. Like the run is done. But what you're looking for that Alex just drew out is this little box here, 3. Like you have the first run up, right? Momentum dies out. Bag holders, people sell at a loss, whatever. Then after this aggressive downtrend, sellers are exhausted. You have equilibrium. You have buyers and sellers equilibrium. The candles are getting smaller. It maybe ranges for a bit. And once what this is telling you is like holders are turning over. Bullish holders are getting in. Bearish holders are getting out. And again, it's equilibrium. Then once there's a breakout, the sellers are done. They got out either here or here. And now they're gone. And now all you have is people that are bullish on this thing. And if they're buying down here, it's because they have higher targets. And then once it breaks this range, then you get momentum people piling in. You get people riding the momentum, the volume, and then you just have people FOMOing and it's going up. And if it really is something special, it consolidates in a flag like this, and then boom, stage 5, wave 2, and this plays out again, but at a bigger scale. So that's really what you're looking for. And like I said, it's Solana, the big project like that with billions of market cap, it happens over months and years. But with these memes, you're going to see that cycle play out a lot faster.
Yeah. Here, let me share my screen. But yo, can you tweet it out, by the way? It's on Telegram.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So, just exactly as what he was saying, with bigger market caps, it does take a while. And, this one has been consolidating since July of this year, right? So it's been going back and forth, had a pump, it had a dump, pump, dump. But one of the things that I'm pretty sure we're going to start seeing here is, it's this bullish divergence on the bigger time frames, right? And if you see the daily is just starting to move to the upside. Let's look at the 3-day. 3-day, the RSI is making higher highs, right? And to me, the 3 is a very special number, right? So if 1, 2, 3, I found a lot of things do a reversal on the third wave in general, third wick, or whatever the case might be. And then the weekly is double bottomed. So maybe SZ isn't wrong on this one. Maybe this one is a good buy. Like I said, 17,000 holders is a lot for this one to be at 19 million market cap. It's quite impressive, and I do want to check to see if we actually have this one on any exchanges. So we do. We have it on. We have Kai on Blowfin, on Bitmart, on BitGet, and on Mexi. So I'm actually really bullish on this one now that I look at it in different exchanges. So don't be surprised if this one rips. And we gave you this call here. Henry just explained the whole psychology behind accumulation zones for Solana, and this in general just looks like a great shoulder, head, and shoulder, right? Low, high, low, or second higher high. We just made a higher high, right? So again, mega bullish on this one. So just 19 million market cap. So keep an eye on this one.
Yeah, solid. I have one more around that market cap.
Awesome.
That I want to share. Also Solana. This thing's going slow. Maybe while I load this up, you want to go through. Oh, here we go. Never mind. So let me know if you see my screen.
Yep, you're good.
This thing's rugging. Oh, here we go. Okay. So another one I like around similar market cap is this one, Manifest. Okay. And again, same type of structure. You have wave 1 here, crazy run up, wave 2, sell off. You have the range here, accumulation, holders turnover, break out of the range here, retest, and then bam, wave 4 and 5, right? And this is really wave 4 here. I'll just remove this head and shoulders thing real quick so you guys can see. And it did its flag here, and now it's going into expansion, wave 5, right? So this is Manifest. It's one that I really like. That it's been around since July, and it had this crazy run and has dumped and pumped and dumped like several times, right? Like a lot of retraces. So at this point, I think the holder base is pretty strong, and I'll tell you what I like about it. So the whole theory, the whole the whole thing with this one is manifest, right? So if you guys are familiar with manifesting. It basically means you manifest your future, you manifest success. And if you think about like the current meta with stuff like SPX, with Giga, we have culture coins, right? And this is, to me, it falls in that category. It's also a cat. It's in the cat meme category, right? So to me, this is the closest thing that you're gonna get to like a Mog, whereas like Mog it's considered both a cat and a culture coin. So that's kind of the thesis behind it. But you don't need a thesis when you have a chart like this. I think, like,
No,
basically, it is one big like cup and handle plus a head and shoulders. And my near term target is 30 million right now, and I really think it could go to hundreds of millions. And that's kind of how I'm playing now. Near term, it is breaking out, so I think near term, if we just do like a quick target here of the last impulse, I think you see, 30 mil. Look at that. So I think this is a quick 50% mover here and probably more. And I can't play the video here, but maybe we'll share it in the Telegram. But there's a video that they put out with a bunch of celebrities talking about manifesting stuff. And the other meta that it has is Zoomers, right? This Zoomers, like TikTok, the TikTok generation, they're familiar with this word. And some, just again, it's like Mog 2.0 to me. So I think this is a beautiful chart, beautiful structure, really going into expansion soon. And, Sol is bullish. The big caps on Sol are really ripping. People are looking at like what's next. And when they see like a structure like this, something that's been around since July, like died, found a floor here, and really is showing like strong signs that it could be a future leader. I'm really bullish on this one.
Yeah. No, it's I think easy. I think easy 100 mil on this one. It looks good.
Yeah. The next one that we're going to take a look at, maybe as to wrap up here, is AAA, and we've been covering this one a lot, but I think we haven't really laid out the full thesis in a while, so I'm just going to quickly do that. So again, we have ecosystem flows, right? Money is flowing from Ethereum and from Solana to Sui, and we can compare them. We can compare both of them actually. So over the last 3 months, I mean, wow. So Sui has had 1 billion inflows from all other chains, which is almost as much as Solana, which has 1.5 billion. So money is flowing to Sui. People are interested in this ecosystem. And, if we're bullish Sui, I think we've charted it a couple times. Maybe you can chart it to wrap up, Alex. But
yeah,
for bullish Sui, we're also bullish memes on Sui. So CoinGecko has this category. And what we want to find like leverage Sui, basically. We want to buy Sui, which we're already bullish on. We want to turn, 1,000 Sui to 10,000 Sui. So how are we going to make that happen? Well, one way is obviously memes. Like that's the standard playbook. And if we look at if we just rank by volume, the big 5 here are Sudang, FUD, Blub, Sui Man, AAA Cat. And over the last day, it looks like they're all performing pretty well. I think when we checked earlier, AAA Cat was definitely the fastest out of the bottom.
Yeah.
But I think they can all do well. I mean, the whole category, 160 million, is like less than like one new meme on Sol. It's less than, I think, one we can look at is that I'm personally in is Peanut, right? So that's all memes on Sui are less than one meme on Sol that just came out a few days ago. So that's like crazy, right? When you have the flows looking like this, almost equal. So I think it's a matter of time before we get Sui meme season. Um, and if what we're looking for is leverage Sui, right? So if we compare this to Sui, how they've been doing the last 30 days, it's tracking Sui pretty closely. We can do the last 3 months since it came out. And when Sui goes up, this thing goes up more. When Sui goes down, it obviously goes down more. So Sui, I think it's almost at all-time high, or about to go into price discovery. So when that happens, I see AAA Cat. I think is going to do some damage, but also some of the other memes here are looking good. Like I might just buy a bag of all of them because I just feel like everything else is going higher. But one thing I want to point out is the market cap for AAA is the lowest out of all of these. Sui Man, what's that?
And it's a cat.
Yeah, it's a cat cycle right now, and Popcat is leading that. But as Popcat goes into price discovery, I think that spills over to things like Manifest, things like AAA Cat. So maybe before you can take a look at AAA, we take a quick look at Popcat because we started the show with we're bullish Soul. Once Soul goes into price discovery, it's blue chip memes like Whiff, Bonk, Popcat is now in that category. These are also going into price discovery, and it's had it did break out of that channel we were drawing in the last live, but it's recovering pretty strongly, 30%. So
Wow.
it's once it goes into price discovery and all-time high, like I could see this thing flying to 5 billion pretty quick. So we think AAA is the Popcat of Sui, and I tweeted this earlier. I said, imagine fading the next Popcat at 14 million before it runs to billions. AAA is your second chance. This is the Popcat of Sui. Price is down 50% from all-time high, while followers are up 50% in a month. And we can see in this chart since this is the wrong chart, but if you check in October, they had less than 5,000 followers, and now they have 7,000. So strong follower growth. And this is basically study being early on memes on Sol. Sui's round 2, and just looking at the flows, looking at Sui's performance, it's the market is telling you, right? Like it's telling you Sui's next, it's telling you memes on Sui are next. So I think conservatively, AAA goes to at least 100 million, and maybe more. Just depends on who really takes the lead as the top meme on Sui, which I think it's up for grabs.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you because how many of those are at top market caps? I believe it's FUD, Pug, and who else?
Yeah, I can show it real quick again. So it's Hippo is at 64 mil. Okay, 65 mil. So let's do this. Let's compare it to AAA. See my screen?
Yeah.
So we can check like who's been stronger over the last month, over the last 3 months, and you can say again, AAA was the fastest out of the bottom. Hippo like still is underperforming since basically November 4th, and I bet you if we check the Sui chart, that's probably when Sui bounced. So stronger than Hippo. Take a look at FUD. FUD, it does look like it's becoming a contender to be a top meme as well because it drew down less than AAA.
Yeah.
And but over the last 3 months, AAA looks like it's outperforming.
Yep. AAA I think is outperforming all of them. Which one's next?
And if we look at Blub, and these are higher market caps, so keep that in mind. Like FUD is already at 30 million. Hippo was at 65. Blub is 30 million. AAA Cat is 13 million, right? So it's outperforming it's outperforming Blub over the last 3 months, and basically in line the last 30 days. So, but again, you're just getting a cheaper price here. So, I mean, I like all of them. I'll probably get a bag of all of them, but I'm going to probably get the biggest bag in AAA cap.
Yeah. The one thing, I'm sorry, can you go back? Damn. Can you just go back really quickly? I want you to look at one.
Which one?
That it's called a Uni, and this one has been performing really well.
Is it on Sui?
Yeah, it's on Stewie. It completely caught me off guard.
I think this is like one of those like owners, developer, founders pet thing.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, this is some TA I had. I mean, I think we did this on last stream. I think this is the key level here is the 0.5 of the whole run up, and you can see it's struggling to break through. But basically, it's just waiting on Sui. I mean, let's take a look at Sui. Like, what was the all-time high for Sui?
236 was all time high.
Yeah, so it's within, a couple cents of all-time high, and the all-time high was about a month ago, 234, according to this. And once it breaks all-time high, I mean, you're at the 0.5. Once you flip this, it's off to the races. I think we're going to see this at 30 mil pretty quickly. Yeah, I think risk to reward, one of the best opportunities in the market right now for me.
Yeah. So one thing I do want to talk about slightly quickly on Sui is the fact that it's probably ready to go into price discovery. And so this is why we're talking to you guys about Sui in general. Let me go on Binance. Just delete this really quick. So, yeah, so I've had, and this is on perpetual, that's why it's 36. So that's probably correct, the one that you have. But overall, if we're like about a cent or 2 cents away from all-time high, right? Earlier today, we did hit like 35 cents. But if you look at the momentum on this, and this is why I'm, again, mega bullish, right? We're looking at this on the 3-day, right? The 3-day stochastics are just getting started. We meet a higher high. That's usually bullish on the stochastics, right? It's higher when it's flipping. And look at that. Like we had barely a red candle, right? A red MACD turn. And then, yeah, look, it's ready. It's ready to go. We closed the daily today at almost above it, right? Above the all-time high, but this is still really bullish in general. Let me go to the weekly. Yeah, weekly's flipping. It's about to flip. MACD's looking strong. So Henry and I both have been talking about it on Twitter. We've been talking about it in our lives, on our chats. This is a theme for the next bull run, right? Solana is always going to remain there, and we have to accept that. But this one is the next one, and like I said before, this doesn't surprise me if it goes to $10, right? Very, very bullish on this
easily.
one. Yeah. So yeah, just these are justifications. You saw the flows, right? Those are pretty crazy flows that we've seen on Sui. They're the second most compared to Sol, right? So overall, very bullish on this one. And then there's one last chart I do want to talk about that I've been eyeing, and that's both virtual and Luna. So Henry, do you want to talk about virtual in general?
Yeah, we can quickly talk about just what it is, and if we recall, we've been pretty bullish GOAT. And we think AI meme coins are here to stay. We think it's going to be one of the major trends. I just want to take a look at how it's doing. It was the fastest horse out of the bottom. I think I checked the 24-hour performance yesterday when Bitcoin started that run, and it was either the first or top performer in the top 100, and it's really, really showing itself that it could be a leader. Like this is a pretty aggressive uptrend, but within that same meta, of AI meme coins, there's also Luna. So Luna is similar to Truth Terminal, which was obviously shows GOAT. It has a Twitter run by AI, right? But also, this AI is able to do stuff on chain, and it's actually has decided, and they make the code, like they've shown the code to everyone, that this thing operates on its own, and it decided to start tipping people for engagement, like sending people its token. And this is basically like a AI influencer, and it's always live, and I always see like it's got a crazy amount of views. It's got 15K views, right? So
Jesus.
if you don't think there's going to be AI influencers, like I'm sorry, there is going to be AI influencers. There's probably going to be people getting married to AI eventually.
Probably.
So they're definitely going to be watching live streams about it. And it's a similar meta to GOAT, right? But I think it's different enough where it can kind of be its own thing. I will say, I mean, to me, this looks a little bearish because there's been 1, 2, 3 reactions, and now you're breaking below the 0.618. But I think 50 mil, I'd ape personally. But I think right now I'd probably want to see some more strength from it. And before you go into the TA, it's related to this, which is I had it open on the other one. So yeah, while I pull that up, you can go ahead and take a look, Alex.
Awesome. Yeah, so I've been looking at this one, for the last few days. There is and the reason why I want to explain to you guys why I've been looking at this, because virtual is in a incredible place right now where it has like a daily double bottom, right? And that to me is excuse me, overall very, very, very bullish, right? So look at this. It's gotten all the way down to like 29 cents, but the price gets eaten up from here, and
you're bullish virtual. You're not bullish Luna, or you bullish?
No. Well, I'm gonna get into that for a second. That's why I was bullish for Luna in general, because of virtual.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. So essentially, like what I was seeing on this one, because this one's already like a 170 million market, which actually isn't bad. I thought it was more. But oh yeah, because I think it went up really high. Yeah, until Anyway, yeah. So this was actually in a flag that's ready to, go ahead and start making some crazy moves here, right? And it wouldn't surprise me if virtual, think about it. Virtual is on base, right? I think it's on base, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So whatever news, whatever base does, that could get these projects out to give them more exposure. I mean, you're looking at about an 84-cent virtual, right? And just by looking at this overall is very bullish. I started to think about, okay, what follows, what follows virtual, or what's, in that realm. And I believe Luna is the second biggest one, right?
Well, yeah, I can explain exactly what they are. And I think we'll probably end up doing like a longer video deep dive, because it's basically virtual is like the pumped up fun of on-chain agents. So Luna is the biggest on-chain agent on base. It was launched on virtual. It trades against virtual. If you look at the trading pair, it's Luna virtual. So virtual has like this kind of casino chip quality that you have in Sol and Sui, in that it is the pair that these on-chain agent tokens trade against. And they're coming out, they really are coming out like as the leaders to launch on-chain agents with tokens. So I'm pretty bullish that meta. I'm like, yeah, I think this one's worth a deep dive, because I do think like this could be potentially like a sleeping giant on base.
Yeah. And this is one of the, before we go, or if there's anything else you want to add, but this is what I was looking at, and I'm looking at this one, and to me, through my TA and through my eyes, this one makes sense as a bullish sign, right? I was waiting for this one. I mean, it got all the way down to like 7 cents essentially, but I am looking to retest these areas here, right?
Yeah,
it's very strong.
That's a 40 mil that I drew out.
Yeah, this is it. And then once we start retesting this, because it's crazy, I've seen price action dip down here and then just rip completely. And that Moodang is a perfect example, right? So people just wait, and they'll wait for here, and then
they're drawing the same fibs as us, man. We're all drawing the same lines.
Exactly, and we're all putting the same buy, the same buy bots right around this area to start buying. And so, I'm waiting for this price action here. Overall, what I'm seeing for this one is, also in a flag. This one is kind of similar to that, but essentially this I think this is the next one. I am looking to buy in to make some decent money on this one because it's actually looking really good. And then this could also go into price discovery while virtual also does the same, right? And for now we're looking at, if we reverse now, we're looking at 200% gains, and then from this bottom of the 7816 we're looking at almost 400, a 4x essentially, right? So it's just something to keep an eye on, guys. We will be posting this one on our Telegram, so make sure to follow, and you'll get our daily updates in general. And that's all I got. Go ahead. You want to add anything?
I'll just add that we'll probably end up doing like a deep dive, in-depth overview of Luna and virtual. That might be one of our first long form videos, because basically what I want to figure out with my research and analyze is, we have GOAT. GOAT has cemented itself as having staying power to me because it had its dump, it's recovered. But, people that are sidelined on GOAT, they're going to be like, what can I buy that's like similar, that had the same type of hype and the same narrative, that isn't a rug? And there's not that much out there. I'd say the only ones that I can think of off the top of my head are Luna and virtual. So when you see things at a discount like this, at least me personally, I want to dig into, obviously the TA looks good, but can I dig into, is this just undervalued and the market doesn't understand it? And if so, then that's a comfortable, you wait for it to come to your level, or maybe you start DCAing, but you can buy into this kind of with size and just sit on it and sleep on it because you've done the work to front run, the attention that's going to come to this meta, which is on-chain agents and AI. So if this is one of the key projects to have exposure to that narrative, this could be one of the best opportunities to get in. But we're going to deep dive on whether or not it is. We're going to put out a video on that, and we're also going to be updating our Telegram live real time when we're taking positions in these. So make sure you guys sign up for those. But I think overall, there's a lot of opportunity in the market right now. I think Bitcoin could not be any more bullish. The macro conditions could not be any more bullish. So just got to lock in and really take advantage of what the market's giving us here.
Yeah. Just because we have to do the last one, just because it's at lock-in. I was looking at lock-in the other day.
Actually, I think already.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago we were looking at. I was looking at to buy this one, but the price left me. I mean, I think I was looking at it 50 mil, so I just did a 1x. Had the fibs drawn here already. We were good to go. This was back in October 26th when we had that little last dump, and then from there, Valhalla. We never hit the 786.
This kind of looks like a blown up version of the manifest chart.
It does. It actually really does. So if that's the case, we do retest at some point. But the other one, the manifest one, looks like it's already hitting all-time high.
Yeah.
So, it might go into price discovery, so we'll see. But I think that's it, right? I think that's all we got.
Yep. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey, thanks, guys. Have a good day, and, ape on crypto.